Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Eric, the Whiskey Mutant.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
All right, the bit's over.
My eyes are watering.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. We hope you're doing well. Eric, how are you doing?
Checking myself before I wreck myself.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. We are just hanging out. It's just a good time.
Yeah.
Good time, boys.
It's my good time, boy.
My sweet cheese.
My sweet cheese.
Thanks for coming back for another episode if you're returning. If you are here for the first time and you haven't yet, please subscribe, hit the bell, like the video if you're watching on YouTube. But, you know, if you're on the podcast app that you're listening on, make sure you're subscribed as well. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on your podcast app of choice. If it's on the Apple Podcast app, we typically see it. But if we don't see it because it's on another app, send us a little screenshot. We'll read it out here on the show for you. You can follow us on social media at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant. And you can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast for as little as $1 a month, for as little as $5 a month. You get a bunch of bonus content. A little bit more about Patreon here in just a moment, because there's some things that are happening over there that you're going to want to know about very, very soon. What else do we have going on? All of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. New designs going up there all the time. We're going to wind up with a meetup weekend exclusive shirt.
Exclusive.
For people. Not excluding the one from last year, because the one from last year is still
Yeah, because that's a
there,
universal logo.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to get the new limited one.
We're going to have...
You got to complete the collection.
Yeah, we're going to have a special shirt just for that weekend.
I may have a Whiskey Mutant shirt, too.
Ooh, is whiskeymutant.shopify.com back?
Not yet. I mean, for the meetup only.
Okay, fair enough.
No, nobody online can get it. Only the meetup. Like a very limited, like in person, you got to buy it there.
Oh, okay.
Pop-up shop.
Ooh, I love pop-up shops.
One shirt.
Just a single shirt.
Yeah.
First come, first serve.
Yeah.
One person is able to get it. Yeah, I get that.
No, I'll get a couple different sizes.
If you have questions or comments, you can send them to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. We love having questions and segment for a segment here on the podcast.
Questions.
Yeah, questions. Ask us something.
Yeah, right now.
Right now. We're listening.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I mean, I'm just being honest.
I thought you were legally not allowed to talk about that.
No, the time frame is like rolled over, so you can like, what's the time frame when something gets dismissed?
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm good, I think.
I hope so. We're losing them quickly. Time to get out of here.
I better make a call.
Make a call. Yeah.
Ring, ring.
This is the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Wrong person. I don't have student loans with you. Bye. How do I turn off an iPhone?
Good question.
How little this thing is.
Is there anything else? What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Well, do you want to plug the tickets?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the tickets. We may as well. The tickets for This Is My Bourbon Weekend 2023 are on sale right now. There's an Eventbrite link that is probably in the description if we have gotten our way through everybody on Patreon at this point. I am imagining by this point the VIP Plus tickets are sold out, but if they are not, that is everything you get with VIP plus an exclusive tasting with Peggy No Stevens herself. Yeah. The reason that we are doing this is because Peggy said yes to coming and hanging out with us and doing this live show. We wanted to make sure that we had her expenses covered. And also just to give a few folks the opportunity to do something special.
Yeah.
Do something unique.
Small little group.
So you can check all that out. Patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast if the link has not gone live yet. Mm-hmm. It's currently for our top tier Patreon supporters right now. You good? She's scooting food towards the cat food bowl.
You good, bro?
Homie?
You good, homie?
But there are also the general admission tickets for the live show that is happening Saturday, May 27th. I put 6 p.m. on the thing. I don't know if that, I mean, we could maybe push it a little bit later, right?
Or
Didn't we start
earlier.
at like 7?
Well, I think 6 p.m. is when people check in and we just start.
Yeah.
We do some stuff, and then
Yeah.
the show didn't actually start till later.
Yeah. So doors at 6, I guess.
Yeah.
Doors. There's going to be food. We're probably going to wind up with doing the special refreshments
Yeah.
thing as well that we did last year. There's a chance that we're gonna have another tasting for another single barrel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's we're kind of still working on a little bit. We got some things we need to go over in private. I guess we don't want to talk about it on here.
Just talk all the details.
Let's
right
just
here.
go. Yeah, let's just have a business meeting right
Yeah,
now.
Right now, let's look at the budget.
But that VIP ticket, that VIP plus ticket, those are super, super limited. 30 in total, 10 of plus, 20 of regular. And I think we mentioned this before. We did have to up the price a little bit, but it's not to nickel and dime anybody. It's to make sure that we have the best experience possible created for.
It's not that much more.
For you. No, it's not. It's definitely not. So all that being said, I'm so freaking excited, dude.
Pairing with Peggy.
We're going to have some live music too before the show starts. So when doors are open, music is starting.
You can get some food. You can get a drink at the bar.
Hang out, have a
everybody
good
gets
time.
a free bar ticket on us with your ticket. Like as Perry said, possibly a sample or something. But yeah, food, drink, live show.
It's going to
music.
be lit.
You were there
As
last
the
year.
kids
You
say.
know it was fun.
It was a great time, man.
Yeah.
It's a great time. We need to request that we not be put directly next to the reunion, though, because I don't want to have to deal with those audio issues.
Well,
Again?
I don't know. I mean, we've already got our room assigned, so I don't know if they already had
Can I
theirs
just
assigned.
like push them? Like,
I mean, they'll break their hip, Perry.
I don't mean like push the people. I mean push the room.
He could be in trouble if he did that.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's get into a segment that we do just about every week to kick
This
off.
one's a little
episodes.
special.
This is Sips and Snacks.
An early episode review.
It was actually provided to us by Heaven Hill.
Wow.
We got sent a bottle of their new Bernheim original Kentucky straight wheat whiskey, which we're going to be reviewing here in a moment. But they also sent
This is amazing.
right up Eric's alley.
Ugh.
Bernheim original Kentucky straight wheat whiskey cake.
This is what it looks like.
Is a kick.
Look at this thing.
I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. I'm going to make sure there's not any.
Don't
Information.
look at the nutrition facts. We don't
Oh,
need
I'm
to
not.
know.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Whiskey is an. We good? Okay. She wants pasta salad.
Yeah, she decided she wanted it when I was eating.
Give that baby some pasta salad. Yo, gabba gabba.
Love you. Apparently, my child likes pasta salad. This cake is non-alcoholic and contains less than 0.5% alcohol.
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I guess at a certain point it's not considered alcohol.
Yeah. So this is from Adam Matthews Baking Company. Really excited to try this. Lucy prepared this for us and said that it's really good. So,
And are we pairing it with
we are
Bernheim?
pairing it with the Bernheim.
Oh wow. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cake.
Oh my gosh. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. It's so moist. I mean, this was made at least like a week and a half ago.
It tastes like it just came out of
I know.
the bakery. Are we gonna pour over first, or are we gonna drink first? How do you want to do this?
Let's drink first and then pour over.
Oh, one more bite for that.
I'm not a big sweets person, just kind of in general. Like, it's not the snack that I go for if I'm going for a snack. This is so dangerous, though. I mean, I would be in trouble. I'm going to have to send you home with some.
Oh yeah. To not be quote alcoholic cake, it's got a boozy note to it.
It definitely does.
Wow.
Also, sorry for my kid crying in the background.
Pasta salad.
I don't know if you can hear her or not, but
Okay, now Berm. I keep saying Berm.
Bernheim.
Bernheim,
Yeah.
original Kentucky straight wheat whiskey. This is barrel proof.
This is the first release of their batched Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey Barrel Proof. A223.
That's different.
118.8 proof.
Oh, the
And I
nose smells good.
believe, and I'll check the press release, but I'm pretty sure that it's 7 to 9 years old.
It's barrel proof wheat.
It smells more like a wheated bourbon than it does a wheat whiskey.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, I mean, if we're going by the barely legal, quote unquote, mash bill standards, this is barely a barely legal wheat whiskey. It's 51% wheat. So,
Cheers. Oh,
mm,
that's butterscotch.
mm. Finish is a little light.
A little light, but it's so sweet up front.
Yeah. It's good, dude.
Oh, that is good.
It's the whiskey that I didn't know I needed for 2023.
That's dangerous. What's the proof?
118.8.
118. Almost 120 proof in it.
Yeah. It slaps, it kicks, it kills, it
Um,
murders,
murdered out.
it strangles.
It strangles all the rye and just says, I'm wheat whiskey. That's good.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to remember. I can't hardly remember, but when I was talking to you before, the you do bourbon,
You do bourbon, yeah.
you do bourbon, you do you boo. The Bernheim sample that we got to try was my second favorite. Like I almost got one of those to take home just because I never had.
So
Any of that.
different. Yeah.
But you know, I went back to Elijah Craig. But now I'm very happy that this is available in the barrel proof version.
Sorry, I took a bite. Right before I should have started talking. So 51% wheat, 37% corn, and 12% malted barley. $65.
$65.
$65.
I like that.
Just like Larceny, just like Elijah Craig barrel proofs.
Nice.
I love the fact that this is a thing.
Yeah.
I never really thought that I would have wanted this to be a product on the market. But now that it's out, I'm not mad about it by any means. So I guess we got to do it.
We got to do the pour over.
Got to do the pour over. Dude, I can't get over just how fresh this cake feels.
Oh. Does this come with the cake in stores? Because it should. Oh. That's where it's at. Oh my. That little bit of booziness that I was like, man, this thing kicks a little bit. There it is. And it makes the cake, it just amps everything up in this cake to 11.
That's one of the best pairings we've ever done on the show.
Oh, wow.
And I know that, it was like built for the two of them to go together.
Yeah. But not everybody's going to get to do that.
No.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Big fan.
I like that a lot.
Well, what do you give the pairing out of 10?
The pairing out of
Yeah.
10? 10.
Oh, 10 out of 10 for sure. Or if you want to go Whiskey Mutant, 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. Do these things pair? Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do. You've demolished your cake.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Don't stop.
You look like you glitched in and out of the Matrix for a second.
I did.
It's just the little twitch that you had.
This thing is good with coffee, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
That's how you start a show.
That's how you start a show. We still got to review this thing, though.
Oh, yeah. So do you like the bottle shape?
I do. I think it's unique enough, but it's also the same shape as the regular Bernheim. So it's not like a new invention or anything. It's not crazy out there. It's yeah. I don't have any problem with it.
So they just kept it on brand with just using the same as like a
Yeah, pretty much.
larceny and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It looks just plain in the front to me. So you really got to pay attention to that barrel proof label.
Yeah.
Like I could see this being overlooked is the only thing.
Here's my question. Do you think that people are going to find, and this is going to get a little bit stepping into our topic of conversation for this week. Do you think that this is going to have the same attraction that people find with Larceny and Elijah Craig barrel proofs? Like, do you think this is going to sit on the shelf, or will it just be unfindable? Is that a word?
Hidden. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if this may be the one that the people who kind of know their brand and have tried a bunch of things, this may be the one that they get, and they're the ones that sell this one out, as opposed to people who maybe they don't try different things. And, they know Elijah Craig barrel proof, or they like Larceny. Because, I'm not that familiar with Bernheim.
I've only had it a handful of times. And even then, it's like, a small handful.
So, I don't know. It's a good question. I think it probably depends on how much they bottle.
Yeah.
Is it like a couple of bottles per store? Then I think it sells out. Is it a couple cases? It may sit. I don't know.
I don't either.
It's good, though.
Yeah, this is I think it's kind of a, despite the fact that Bernheim is a product that has been tested on the market for a long time, I don't know of a lot of people who are thinking, oh, I need this in barrel proof.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do think that there is that attraction of people who, fell in love with bourbon because of your Wellers and your Van Winkles, I guess. I don't know, but you know what I mean? And so they see wheat and they see something that is kind of the same caliber as that. So all that being said, we're going to actually put this through its paces, nose, palate, finish, and price that we normally do with reviews here on the show.
I like the nose a lot.
It's not my favorite nose, but it is not unpleasing, if that makes sense.
I think I like the nose more than the palate. It's probably my favorite thing, honestly. It's a little weird, sweet and weird, and that's kind of like what I like to gravitate towards. I'm giving the nose a 4.
I'm going to give it a 3, and I'm going to give the palate a 3.5. I think it's that little bit of a step up. I think that there is a lot of malted barley coming through.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of threw out. And by the time that it gets to the finish, that's kind of all you're getting. Just kind of a bitterness, I think, on the back end. Which is not a terrible thing by any means.
Right.
But I think it's a strange juxtaposition with everything else that's happening on there. What did you give the palate?
3. I think it's solid. I think it's very, pardon my French, smooth.
Oh, how dare you?
But it is. It's like
You're
it's
gonna
not.
have to write an apology letter.
I know. Whatever. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last. I'm sure I'll get banned on Facebook or something. But it is. It's like it's not complicated. It doesn't make me really think a lot. And it's just good. It's just sweet. It's a sweet whiskey.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3.
Going back to what I was saying about the finish, not my favorite thing in the world. I'm gonna give it a 2.
I give it a 2.5.
Okay.
It's my least favorite part too. It's there, but it's gone very fast.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do that drying effect where it's like, oh man, I got to get another pour. It's like,
yeah,
where's my finish at?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's this particular batch or what, but
I'm sure it's going to evolve and change and improve by the time, batch 3 rolls around, the C batch, I guess. I wonder if that's going to be like C1023. If they're pushing everything back a month.
That'll be 4 numbers on there.
Yeah.
Interesting. That'll look
different, but cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with it. Price at $65. I think that this is scratching an itch that nobody really knew that they had, but at the same time, it is just a nice addition to the whiskey shelf in general. I like it at $65. I really don't have much of a problem with it. I just wish that the
whiskey.
Weeder. I wish that the product that is actually in the bottle was just a little bit better, but I think that's going to develop with time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give the price a 4.
I give it a 3.5.
There you go.
I'm kind of the same. I think if it blew me away a little bit more, I would say, oh, it's worth it, or even more.
Yeah.
I think the only negative with the price is just it's a newer product that people aren't used to. So maybe it would help it if it was a little cheaper to get it, make people want to get it that may not know what it is. Yeah. You see this at $49.99 and it's a barrel proof wheated whiskey. It may be a little bit more approachable or catch people's attention more that way. But other than that, I think it's above average as far as the price goes.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I give it a 13.
12.5.
Dang, there we go.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
If that's available and you see it sitting, I say grab it.
Yeah, I think so too. Eric, what have you been drinking recently?
Not a lot.
You've had a busy week.
Been working a lot. Well, let's see. What did I have earlier before on Sunday? Where was I at?
You went to Pepper.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
I did. We went to James Pepper Distillery before we went to Goodfellas to have pizza, and me and April always get an old fashioned. That's her favorite.
What's that? And
I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I love this old fashioned. Yeah. So I had Old Pepper Old Fashioned. Man, if you're in Lexington, I've said this bajillion times, but go to the distillery district and don't pass up Old Pepper.
Mm-mm.
I know it's kind of a small place and everything, but that makes it even better. They've got a lot of products on their shelf in there now. They've got a malted thing. They've got their own bourbon. They've got their own rye now. You can do a full tasting there. You can do tours, and their old fashions are just amazing. And then when I was in Goodfellas, I had the 11-year-old Russell's Pick, which was really good.
Nice,
really good.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh, I got laughed at by an old man. If you were on the pregame chats, I've had a horrible time.
What's going on with you and old people?
Because I said that on the hot takes.
It's just cosmic karma.
Yeah, it's karma. Old people are out to get me.
Apparently.
Because I did the annoying thing where I took a picture of the bottle, And the old guy goes, I guess it will last longer if you take a picture.
Oh, shut up, dude.
He was like 60, 70 years old.
That's not that old. My mom's almost 60.
Well, he acted old.
Well, my mom is 60, actually.
Yeah, but she wouldn't say that.
No.
Saying that made you an instant boomer old person to me.
My mom's 62 this year.
But yeah, so I had to tell him, I was like, I like to show my friends. I like to document what I've had. Well, just it won't last, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, shut up. Go break a hip. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
I just imagine
I
you
do
going
mean that to him, but I hope that didn't happen.
I just imagine you going like, huh?
Yeah.
And just moving on.
So yeah, I did that. And I don't have any problem with that, with people asking to take pictures of the bottle. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I know some people get annoyed about it, as you can tell. So I'm sure,
as is evidenced by this conversation.
yeah. So hopefully he popped a good blue pill and he had a good night there. So didn't wind up in the ER or something.
Anyway, we went to Agave and Rye
Oh,
last weekend.
those are the crazy taco places, right?
Yeah, I got a kangaroo taco.
What?
It was awesome.
I went there once and I got something crazy. I can't remember which one it was.
Here's the thing, though. This is not what I've been drinking. This is what I've been eating.
Eden, your daughter?
Yeah. What Eden's been eating?
Pasta salad.
Pasta salad. Place is a bit of a scam. I'm going to be honest with you, because they like to take the taco, the tortilla, and put just so much mac and cheese on it, and then like a little bit of meat on top. And with that, you know, we each get a couple of drinks. We had a couple tacos each. Bill was like $150.
It's too.
I was not happy.
Especially if you want more than just one taco.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they load it up, and yeah, like you said.
But I had what I'm considering my new go-to margarita, which was still a tequila margarita,
Okay.
but with like a splash of mezcal.
Like a
in
floater.
it too. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good, man. So good. Adds that just like extra little bit of depth to the flavor profile
Nice.
on it. But that's about the only like notable thing. I had a Dad's got a Nashville Barrel Co.
Oh yeah.
single barrel
Oh
pick
yeah.
at his house right now. So I had some of that earlier
Nice.
this week too.
Nice.
But yeah, for the most part, nothing really off the wall.
It's been a big work week this week, and it's like,
Yeah, lot of stress, a lot of like decompressing, but not in a way that I'm like, I gotta have a drink right now.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
I just kind of been like, I just need to hang out.
yeah,
I need to chill.
I've been craving naps more than I have bourbon this
Yeah.
week.
I feel that, dude.
I feel you.
I feel it.
Feel you.
Let's do something before we get to our topic, or at least pour it while we're
This?
talking about stuff. Yeah. So last week, if you've been listening, we threw a bunch of French oak chips into a Wild Turkey 101 bottle.
French oak.
And this was off the back of having done it in a smaller container. And I just wanted to see what some more time would do to this.
It made it dark, I'll tell you that.
Boy, howdy, did it.
Dark souls over here. What the heck?
I mean, that is a dark bourbon now.
Smell that thing.
Smell of that?
Smell that. What is that? That's the most cherry cola Wild Turkey 101 I've ever
Whoa.
smelled. That smells like
That's crazy.
that smells like cherry cola, but it smells exactly like a double oaked product.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's what we're essentially doing, but it's crazy how double oaked, like that specific double oakiness is. I know, right? Somebody's here.
And they rang the doorbell.
Fred Minnick.
Do we have more?
More samples?
I don't know. Maybe. I wasn't expecting anything. Well, I don't know who this person is. No samples. Just a random lady with pink hair.
Pink hair. Nice.
All right, let's find out what's going on here.
Whoa. That's bitter.
Ooh. It's Woody.
Woody's Roundup.
Come on, it's time to play.
Man. Friends till the end on this one. Wow.
I think it's time to get rid of those oak chips.
There can't be much left flavor-wise to them.
I don't know, dude. I mean,
I think we got to let it go one more week and see.
okay, let's find out.
I want to see if it either that's like the lifespan of them and it's like they're not doing anything else,
Yeah.
or if it sends it over the edge.
Should nah, never mind.
What?
I was gonna say, should we just put more regular turkey in there?
I think we've got a good control here. Like,
I think so too.
Wow, those things.
That's it's kind of rough.
Remember when we tried the barrel that we blended
Uh-huh.
like way after the meetup and stuff?
Yeah.
How bad it was.
Yeah, it was not good.
Still in there.
This actually, there's nothing in there.
Really?
It evaporated.
For real?
Yeah, I went to it recently just to see if anything was still in there, and I shook it. It was completely empty.
So we're going to put something back in that barrel?
Yeah, we are.
So what would that be?
I don't know.
Quadruple? No, like quadruple barrel? Still a double barrel, right?
Yeah.
Something finished in Willet and rare breed barrels.
Do a rare character.
Rare character. That's a good idea.
If we wind up with those Rare Bird 101.
Oh, yeah.
Turkey bottle.
I didn't notice your action figure there.
These guys?
Yeah.
That's Rhett and Link.
I know. I didn't notice
Yeah.
you had them.
Those Mythical Society.
Oh, you're in a clan.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret group.
Yeah, they've got robes and everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Cool.
Well, they did like as their first.
What was your initiation?
I had to pee in a cup.
That's it?
It was like 3 feet away.
And you drank it.
Anyway, let's move on.
I didn't know you were in a cult.
No, it's like their personal Patreon.
Sure, that's what they all say.
Yeah.
Join
but
my
there's
personal Patreon.
there's
you send
written-
money directly to me, and you meet me directly. Where's the link? There is no link. You just
That's Link.
text me personal
There's
information.
the link.
Speaking of link, have you seen these screenshots and stuff from the new Zelda?
Screenshots. I watched the
I don't
trailer.
watch trailers.
I know
bro.
you don't, but I have theories about what's going to happen in this game.
Yeah.
And I don't think so. The new trailer came out this week during the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And everybody's got specific theories about who the bad guy is, and I think they're wrong. I think we have a different villain on our hands.
Donkey Kong. This is the story of Link joining the Super Smash Bros.
It's Wario.
Yeah. You get to the end and you're like, what the heck?
But it's not Wario like made to look like he's in the
No,
Zelda
it's just
universe.
him.
It's just his sprite from.
He's like, we are going to battle, and it turns into Super Smash Brothers.
No, I have never been this excited for a game ever. I've also never followed the production of a video game the way that I have this one before too. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I just kind of didn't play video games for a few years.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of stopped caring. So I've been playing a lot of catch up over the past few years. And as a product of that, I'm now just incredibly excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I just
Tears of the Kingdom. That's the most metal name ever.
Tears of the Kingdom.
We are Tears of the Kingdom. Get the fuck up. All right, sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. But I've been going back and playing Breath of the Wild as well.
Do that.
Actually, so instead of like shelling out hundreds of dollars for all the amiibos,
Yeah.
I got the amiibo cards.
Uh-huh.
So that's like 36 of them or something for like $20.
Nice.
And they function the exact same way as amiibos. But it's the only way to like get 100% in the game because there's like locked armor and weapons and everything. But it's also the only way that you can get Epona, his horse, through one of these amiibos. So I did that. It's really cool. But it looks like Epona's going to be in the next game. She wasn't in.
She better be.
She wasn't in Breath of the Wild. So I don't know if they were just like, oh, well, she's kind of in Breath of the Wild, but you have to do a certain thing. And so we may as well just put her in.
Sorry.
I can't tell you how many times I have started and not finished new Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask files.
I mean, because you play it, you're like, I want to play this, and you get to like towards the middle, and you're like, I'm going to take a break, and then you just find something.
You just kind of forget.
Yeah.
But I will say the definitive way for me to play those titles is on the 3DS because they got remastered and re-released back in like 2014, I think, for that console. And I mean, that's what's up. I love those titles on the 3DS. That being said, I still go back and play the N64 versions of it. And you can also play Game Boy Advance, and well, yeah, I guess N64 too, but that was already out. But on Switch Online, no.
Yeah.
So got just a massive screen with like Super Mario Land 2, a game that came out in 1991.
Well, that's how back in the day, you could get the adapter that went into the Super Nintendo, and then you put the Game Boy game into it, and it was still such a small screen, and they just put like a pattern around it to like fill the screen. You're like, what the hell is this?
Why did they do this?
Let's spin Nintendo talk.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about I don't like to keep using the phrase current state because that kind of sounds negative, I think, in some ways, but just like what's going on with Heaven Hill right now. Just kind of an overview of the brand as it stands in February of 2023.
Well,
they've
won my heart today.
Because they sent a cake.
They sent a cake, they sent a full bottle, and they sent a sample of the Heritage Collection, the second edition. So, I don't know. I think Heaven Hill's just like killing it. They had one of the best whiskeys going into the end of 2022, and people are still getting that into 2023, which was the Parker's Heritage. Everybody loved the Heritage Collection for last year, which people are still trying to get that.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with, I just picked up at Ernie's, A223. They had some.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the bottle because I enjoyed it so much when we reviewed it.
With Papa Ritter.
I think it was more solid than anything we got in 2022.
Yeah.
The larceny was good. I don't know. I feel like even going to Heaven Hill right now is fun. Like they have their bar open up there. They have the walking museum. They have the You Do You Boo Boo bourbon experience.
He's never going to get it right.
I think they're in a good spot. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Well, I think that when we look at heritage brands, I kind of choked on that word. When we look at heritage brands and we look at distilleries that the general public is pretty familiar with, maybe not by name, but at least by product.
Yeah.
I think that Heaven Hill falls under the category of they're doing a really good job of listening to their consumers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think that they're out of touch. I think, we did kind of like scratch our heads a little bit with the Bernheim barrel proof just because, I know that they did it with You Do Bourbon, but I don't know of anybody who was like, that needs to be a product that's on the standard market that everybody has access to. That being said, though, I mean, like, I haven't heard anything bad about the Bernheim barrel proof that was offered during You Do Bourbon. I mean,
I thought it
you
was
even
great.
just said, you said it was your second option behind the Elijah Craig barrel proof, which was 66.6% ABV.
Yeah, baby. Evil. It's so good too.
But I also think too there are these other like outstanding factors I think that have tarnished somebody like Buffalo Trace with the distribution company that they just sued, Republic. Yeah. Which, I mean, essentially it came out that Republic was just sitting on product and not delivering it. So like there's that going against Buffalo Trace, but I also think too that their brand recognition or their brand elasticity is so much smaller than somebody like Heaven Hill. And what I mean by that is Heaven Hill has so many different brands, so many different labels that they put out, even though they're essentially making the same whiskey day in and day out, right? So you've got all of these different expressions of bottom shelf bottled and bonds. You've got your kind of mid-tier offerings with Elijah Craig, Heaven Hill bottled and bond, Larceny too, even though that's a different mash bill. But then, you've got your yearly 3-batch releases of Elijah Craig barrel proof, Larceny barrel proof, and now Bernheim barrel proof too. But there's just something for everybody. And I think also what that translates to more so for me is that there's something for everybody every time of year.
Sure.
It's consistency, and I don't mean to pick on Buffalo Trace, but I think that it's an easy kind of point of conversation within this. But I mean, the closest that they probably are right now to something like that is the new Benchmark line. It's been out since 2020. But you know what I mean? Like they finally have a product that seems like it's always on shelves.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not gotten to the point where I've, at least not since the glass shortage kind of finally started to let up a little bit. But it's what was I saying? They're there.
Yeah.
They're there now. But you see Benchmark and you don't necessarily go, and I mean, this is kind of a general consumer thing as well. You don't necessarily immediately go, oh, it's Buffalo Trace product.
Right.
Yeah. But
it's not like you're saying like, oh, I can't wait for the Buffalo Trace barrel proof whatever coming out this month. And then I'll get another one. Like they were doing Stag Junior there for a while that, you were getting a couple batches. And now it's like, I don't even know Stag Junior. When the last time I saw one of those? I don't know if I've seen anything other than just random Buffalo Trace itself just sitting around.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think about it anymore.
Taylor from time to time.
Yeah, just something
Sazerac
like
Rye.
that. Eagle
you
Rare
know.
here and there, but
Yeah.
like it's never anything that I can go in and be like, you know what, I'm going to grab a bottled and bond product, blah blah blah. Like I always know Heaven Hill's going to have something.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
And more than likely, you're going to find something a little allocated. I mean, a Larceny Barrel Proof, even Lodge Creek Barrel Proof. Now more people are getting that. So
that kind of, I think, leads into another part of this conversation, which is, I know, ostensibly the answer to this question is probably, well, it's because they have more publicity or people are just more aware of the brand. But why is it so much harder to get a Buffalo Trace product versus a Heaven Hill? And I think that, the straw man argument of it is, well, Heaven Hill's just not as good, which I don't think is true at all.
No.
But you know what I mean, though, that there is this, that in some people's minds, probably, that Heaven Hill is just not making whiskey that is as good as Buffalo Trace. I don't think that's true. I think, if anything, they're on par with each other. They just take different approaches to what they are.
I mean, like you said earlier, like Heaven Hill has so many more brands under their belt and stuff like that. And I'm assuming, I don't know the logistics and the sizes of rick houses and all that, but I'm assuming Heaven Hill is a little bigger than Buffalo Trace. Yeah. So yeah, you could say they have more product and they can put out more, but I still think with how big and how popular and everything Buffalo Trace is, I think they could still have a product that was like semi-available that you may see sitting around sometimes, or making, a Buffalo Trace something bottled in bond or something that's hanging out that's cheaper and all that. I don't know. I mean, like you said, you got Benchmark, it's got bottled in bond and all that, but you don't necessarily know that's Buffalo Trace unless you kind of know the brand and know the background and stuff like that. So,
I mean, that with that in mind too, I mean, you're not necessarily looking at JTS Brown and going Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of looks like, in the midst of everything else,
right,
just another brand.
Right.
So I think that in some ways Heaven Hill has done themselves the good fortune of, that's not the way I meant to phrase that, but they've done themselves the favor, I think is what I was trying to say, of not having expressly like Heaven Hill branded products.
Yeah.
Which allows them to spread across the stream a little bit further. And give people the opportunity too to try things that are of different calibers, different flavor profiles too. I mean, despite the fact that JTS Brown and JW Dant are the same distillate, the same mash bill, those flavor profiles, are vastly different from one another. And I mean, that's the sign of a good tasting team that builds products, and sign of, just a board of directors, I guess, that know how to sustain a viable distillery.
Yeah. What would happen if Buffalo Trace said, all right, we're going to give you more Buffalo Trace, and they did the Benchmark thing, but it was Buffalo Trace bourbon? What would happen? You think just people would go nuts? And
I absolutely do. I think they absolutely would
just
lose
all
their
the
mind.
time sold out,
Probably. But I think the best thing that Buffalo Trace did, so that they had a more accessible line of products that people don't necessarily go, hey, it's more Buffalo Trace, I got to get this, was to not brand it as a Buffalo Trace line of products.
Yeah, and I know they got E.H. Taylor bottled and bond and all that. I'm not talking. I'm saying like a Buffalo Trace, normal Buffalo Trace, and it says like Buffalo Trace bottled.
The label Buffalo Trace.
Yes, the label Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. No, I think that people would just, I think it would be a mad,
right off the top of your
just
head,
a mad dash.
Secondary price for bottled and bond Buffalo Trace. First week of release,
$150.
Damn. And it's what would be the MSRP?
45.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be more. It could be like 200.
Yeah.
You know, because you think about Weller Antique, which is $50 a bottle now, and I think that goes for like, oh God, what does it go for on secondary?
What?
No.
150, 200?
Maybe something like that.
I know Foolproof is 275.
Yeah, it's
something like
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely Buffalo Trace definitely has more opportunities they could work with, and I think Heaven Hill has tons that they are working with, and you know, they have the flexibility that they could back off a little bit if they wanted to, or they could just go full blown and start asking and throwing out more product for us.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing a little bit of that. So Bernheim.
I think that Heaven Hill just now we have a happy child. I think Heaven Hill is just kind of on track to, you know, continue to be one of those leading distillers
Yeah.
in the game. And I just hope that they never reach that like unable to find status that Buffalo Trace has gotten
like
to.
the hype and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. They deserve it. I just think it's one of those things that I'm not going to say it. You hate it. But the people
If
who
you know, you know.
yeah, the people who understand like what's going on, like the mash bills and like what they're putting into it and all that stuff. And it's like, if everybody knew that, I think they would be way more hyped than what they are.
Hand me that other Turkey 101 real quick, just so I can show the video version how.
Regular, not
French
regular.
oak chips. That's just a week, too.
Wow.
That is ridiculous. Anyway. Send those away and copter in
Mellow corn. No.
our second review of the episode, and also a review that this is a high bar, high tier, super duper extra premium bottle.
Damn. 20 years old.
20-year-old mellow corn.
Oh, 115 proof.
Yeah, dude.
Kentucky Straight Corn Whiskey. The second edition of Heaven Hill Heritage Collection. Wow.
So 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and 8% rye. Age statement of over 20 years. The release is made up entirely of 110 barrels produced in October of 2002, pulled from the third floor of Rickhouse 1K.
$1K.
$290.
$290. Okay.
Keep that in mind while we're drinking and reviewing. Also,
Ah!
sorry, dude.
I caught it. I didn't even spill it. Nope.
They also sent a Heaven Hill
Oh,
Glencairn.
thanks. And Bernheim and a cake.
Yeah, it's been a good week with Heaven Hill, for sure. So sorry, man.
What?
I almost
All good.
spilled almost $300 whiskey.
Well, wouldn't be the first time we did that. Probably won't be the last.
If our track record is anything to go off of.
Whoa. God.
It's metallic.
It's borderline like markery.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is it's that thing like when you're a kid and you're like, I really want to smell this again.
Yeah.
It's-
pass me the markers, bro. Give me that Sharpie.
Oh, it's crazy.
None of that Crayola crap.
Wow. Dude, the more you smell it, though, the more it smells like popcorn.
20-year-old mellow corn, dude.
Could you imagine, like, the meeting when they were like, all right, what you guys got
What's next?
for the next Heritage Collection? Some guys just like, mellow corn. They're like, what?
Genius!
Genius, let's go. We have some. What? Wow.
Crazy stuff, man.
Markers and popcorn.
My childhood.
What?
Cornbread pancakes.
Cornbread is the thing. Sweet, sweet cornbread.
There's some sweet cream butter.
Yeah.
Too.
There's a little bit of maple.
Yeah.
Cornbread is the dominant thing.
Yeah.
And it's whatever little sweetness. A cornbread muffin, a cornbread pancake, sweet butter, maple, some brown sugar. Holy.
That's crazy. Man.
There's nothing about that that says 20 plus years old.
Mm-mm.
Like I was looking for like some funkiness or something like that.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
VIP Plus tickets are going quick, y'all.
Uh-oh.
3 out of 10 sold already.
Well,
That's pretty quick, though.
that's almost half of the plus. That's
Yeah.
the plus. That's the ultimate package.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so sweet to be 20-some years old.
I guess it's that corn, though.
It has to be, yeah. I would never think that's 20 years
Me
old.
neither. It's,
That's kind of
pardon my French,
mind fucking me.
smooth. Oh, that's not
Oh,
what I was
no.
going to say.
Because it is. It's messing with my
No,
head
it
right
is.
now.
It is for sure. But I like even devoid of thinking about the statistics of this. 20 years old, 115 proof. By the way, doesn't drink like 115 proof by any means. It's actually really good.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so drinkable.
I was
it's
kind of
so
worried.
approachable.
I was worried about the nose.
The nose, I think, is it's the worst part.
You got to get past the nose.
Yeah.
If you just like picked this up and went, you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
God, there's so much cornbread in that.
It like there's a level of this where I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
No,
Like
that's
just
what I said.
a giddiness about it. You know? I really like it, dude.
I mean, I'm still getting stuff.
Yeah.
It's got layers, that's for sure.
It certainly does. Nose, palate, finish, and price.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is going to be the weirdest, like, nose to palate
Yeah, I know.
thing for me. I'll say it. I'm giving the nose a 2.
I'm giving it a 2 as well.
That thing is weird.
It's so
and not
so
the weird that I
strange.
like.
No, it's just. I mean, if
It's paint markers.
if I were supposed to just base my decision on whether or not I wanted to drink this whiskey off of the nose, I would have said absolutely not.
I wouldn't be having it right now. I said, this is going to be crazy. This is
Yeah.
not going to be drinkable.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Palate's a 4, though.
I gave it a 4.5. Holy.
This woke you up.
Yeah, it did.
I could see you starting to fade a little bit during our conversation, and this actually like brought you back to life.
It did. Man. Finish?
It's a 3. It's got what's happening with the palate, but it almost has a watered down bourbon
Yeah.
flavor to it, which I hate.
I give it a 3.5 just because at first I didn't like the finish, and then the more I drank it, the more I felt like I got more on the finish.
Yeah.
So I guess that is kind of like, it may take you a little bit to get a
Yeah.
decent thing, but I don't know. It still kind of leads into from the palate, like, yeah, 3.5.
Yeah. $290.
Well,
Now look,
I'm taking everything into consideration.
I think this is such a unique experience.
Oh yeah.
And it's also like I mean it's so in and of itself, like, but I don't think that it's $300 worth of whiskey.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
I think
I'm gonna give it a 3 as well.
I think, like you're saying, it's so unique that it's going to get a higher price tag. Would I want to see this at 150, 200? Yeah, probably. Even cheaper, maybe. Yeah. The fact that this is been put in the Heritage Collection automatically makes this thing makes it more expensive.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's just how it's going to be. We saw the 17-year and it was almost the same price. It does not kind of follow that $10 per year thing. Uniqueness and all that, it's definitely worth it for the uniqueness. I would have loved to seen this on the $10 per year price tag.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. I think it could be better, so that's why I gave it a 3.
I agree. I think the whiskey itself is really quite good.
Can you imagine this in a blonde?
I'd be so confused.
Could
you imagine if you are? Oh, by the way, as of recording, Eric's competing in Matt Madness tonight.
Yeah, who knows what happened?
Yeah. We didn't even mention that up top.
Did I get to the next round? Did I even get any points?
You'll know by now.
Yeah. Know.
But could you imagine Matt throwing this in the blind?
Oh my God. I'd be like, 4-year-old sweetness. Oh yeah, I was actually 20 years old.
Yeah.
Corn whiskey.
So I gave it a 12 out of 20.
I had 13.
Which is the same score I gave the Bernheim.
Yeah.
So.
I think mine was a 13.5 or something. 13? Yeah. I don't know. Either way. It would depend on, the time of my paycheck, and if I had extra to spend, I didn't care. Maybe there wasn't some other stuff, and I saw it. I would have to see it, probably at my local place, and I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull it. Heritage Collection, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd get up early and wait in line for this, but it's unique as hell.
The bourbon from last year, for sure.
Oh yeah.
This, questionable.
Yeah.
You have any high proof hot takes this week?
High proof hot takes. It's Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Don't get so bent out of shape if somebody posts something about your team and they lost. Just chill out. It's just for fun. I really don't hate you. It's just a joke, okay? Which I don't really care anymore because the Bengals didn't make it, so I'm okay. So I won't post anything.
Did you ever find out who they are?
Yeah, who they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Y'all get on out of here. My favorite part, you can go on my Facebook and look at this, but, I've said this on here. I'm not a big Bengals fan. They treated us bad, and I'm just not a fan. What is the big deal about somebody who's not a fan of that team, and that team beat my team? Yes, I know my team didn't make it either. But what's wrong with a person going on there and being like trash talking the team that essentially beat their team? Like, that just seems natural, right?
Sure.
Well, apparently not. Apparently people think you got to be, we're root for us.
All for one and one for all.
No, I'm not going to do that. Some guy argued with me and he thought I was cheering for a different team. I go, I don't even like this team that you're talking about. He was talking about the Ravens beating the Bengals, and I'm like, I don't care about the Ravens. My son is the Ravens fan. I don't. You got so tore up about it. Don't get tore up about it if your friends don't root for your team and they say funny things on Facebook. Just stop. Get some help. It's just joking. It's professional sports.
Who cares?
We're just having fun.
It's entertainment.
If nobody trash talked and was fun and sarcastic online, it would be so boring. Boring.
Opinions are like buttholes.
Everybody's got one, but
And
mine's
they
better
usually
than yours.
And they usually stink.
But mine is better.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
That's good. That's good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. My high proof hot take is accountability matters. If you say that you are doing something or that you have a job to do and you're basically just skipping out on doing that, even though everybody else says or thinks that you are doing it, take a good hard look at yourself. What are you doing? I mean, honestly, like, don't. I've been dealing with this week. So
Do your work.
Yeah, do the work. Do the work that you say you're going to be doing.
Getting a job, it's kind of like what you say about whiskey. Getting a job is not like, what do you say, a privilege? Like, it's not like,
it is a privilege. It's not a right.
Yeah, you chose that job and you agreed to do that job. So just do it.
Yeah.
You don't get a job and you just get mad because it's like, I can't just goof off all the time.
Yeah. So that.
Yeah, that. Tell them about it.
I did.
I know.
We want to tell them about our tips and bits for this week?
Tips and bits. I would say get tickets so we can hang out for the weekend. That's my tip. What else have I been?
Are you caught up on The Last of Us yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm playing the game as I go.
I know, but that's why I'm asking you, because I don't know how much time you have actually devoted to playing the game. And I want to know if we can actually talk about the thing now.
You want to talk about that episode 3, don't you?
Dude, I want to talk about episode 4 too. Episode 4 was great.
I'm through 1 and 2, and that's how far in the game I've got. So I will I'll try to get through it.
Do you know what happens in The Last of Us Part 2? Like
No.
the game? Okay, never mind.
No, I don't get in the spoilers.
That's okay.
Let's see. I'm going to do like a quick little, what do you call it? Firing off stuff. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire, yeah.
The Bad Batch.
We're operating at 100% this week.
I don't even know what's going on. The Bad Batch this season, I said it when it first started. It's great. It continues to be good. This last episode was crazy. A lot of conspiracy theory stuff. Clone Wars things coming back. Awesome. Switching over to anime. Trigun, the new Trigun reboot is amazing. If you've watched anime in the past and you've heard of Trigun, Vash the Stampede, this is the remake of it. And I'm not normally big on remakes, and especially 3D animation ones, but they blew this one away.
Nice.
Amazing soundtrack, amazing artwork. It does not look 3D. It looks 3D, but it doesn't look janky like some of the stuff has been. And the story's great. Changed it just enough to make it feel new, but it's still familiar. My Hero Academia. I've cried more of this season in anime than I have in a long time. I mean,
Did we talk about
I'm
that
just honest.
That first look image of One Piece live action
No,
for Netflix?
we have not talked about that.
What do you think about it?
I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I mean, I think the picture, they made it look decent enough, but Netflix, y'all messed up Death Note, y'all messed up Cowboy Bebop. But I will say, it is reported that the creator of One Piece has had more input on this than any of the creators of those other shows that they fucked up.
Yeah, creator of Cowboy Bebop said that Netflix adaptation wasn't even Cowboy Bebop.
No, he couldn't even get past the first episode.
Corridor Crew, I think it's Corridor Crew. They have a really good video. It came out over the past few weeks on why Hollywood adaptations of anime fail. Why they're just not as good as the original. I don't know if you.
I've heard articles about that, but I don't know that particular one.
That particular video, I think, does a really good job of talking about how the pacing within Hollywood adaptations is completely different from how they actually pace stories and action and everything in the original anime.
And a lot of the expressions and stuff that are unique to anime don't relay.
They don't translate.
Yeah.
But also just, trying to be too divergent from the original story. A good example of it is Dragon Ball Evolution, which
that's a rough one.
I still have a soft spot for it because of how bizarre and weird it is. I mean, that one scene of Master Roshi when Goku first meets him, and he's like turned around and he's just maniacally laughing with his hands up in the air. And Goku's like, my grandpa's dead. And he just stops. I think that is such horrible, horrible screenwriting and acting. But it makes me laugh every single time just because of how atrocious it is.
Another example of a Alita Battle Angel is a really good adaptation, but they went so far as to make her have anime eyes that it's almost unpleasant at times.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. If I would have to just not, in order for me to like the Ghost in the Shell movie, I would just have to not know anything about the anime and just love Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
That would be about it. So yeah, that's my anime wrap up. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of the podcasts I listen to on YouTube, just because you miss a lot of especially like funny podcasts. You miss a lot of like expressions and stuff that make things even more funny. I never really got into that, but now like if I'm at the gym, I'm on the elliptical or the treadmill or something, I'll put it on. Or if I'm sitting at work, I can kind of put it on in the background and kind of turn when I hear something. So yeah, I've been kind of rewatching episodes of my favorite podcast on YouTube.
Nice.
Which you can do here too.
For this podcast as well. I'll run through a few things. Like I said earlier, I've been replaying Breath of the Wild. Really been enjoying that. I think it's like a top 3 video game of all time.
Oh, it's amazing.
For me. Top 5. Also, Nintendo just released a remastered version of Metroid Prime.
Ooh.
Which I got the night that it was out.
Yeah.
So I've been playing through that. It's been the first time that I've picked that game up since I was like 12, 13, something like that.
Play it on Game Boy back in the day?
No, it was on GameCube originally. But we've all just kind of been waiting. And I think that this is now a good sign that Metroid Prime 4 is finally moving in the right direction. We've been waiting like 4 or 5 years for that game to come out, which, I mean, you know, we've been waiting almost 6 years for the sequel to Breath of the Wild to come out.
Was I the only one that got shocked when you realized it was a girl in the suit?
Yeah.
Well, I was
that
the only one.
Samus is a girl. Well, I knew that Samus was a woman before I started playing that game.
Like as I played it when Metroid first ever came out and stuff, I was like, oh, that's why I'm so attracted to this.
Well, the suit has boobs.
Yeah, but I didn't really. You can't tell on back in the day on the first ones.
No.
They had nice legs though, so I was like, it makes sense now. But my mind blew.
Yeah, a couple of things I've been watching as well. We just finished the show Dairy Girls, which is on Netflix. It was originally for the BBC, I think.
Is this a reality show?
No, it's kind of a teen comedy drama.
I just instantly pictured girls working on a farm.
No, Dairy, Derry.
Oh,
it's set in northern.
It's set in Northern Ireland, like milking cows.
No.
Stuff.
It's set in Northern Ireland during the early '90s. So when Sunday Bloody Sunday,
gotcha.
all that stuff.
Okay.
Really funny, really great. There's a character on it. Her name's Orla, and she is the funniest. She is what I want to write a funny character to be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So just.
Her name's Dorla.
Orla.
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 O-R-L-A. Orla. Okay. It's kind of hot. The name.
We just watched Nick Kroll's new stand-up special the other night as well. Really funny. Nice. Couple of moments where I was just kind of like I just kind of cringed a little bit, but I still think Nick Kroll is hysterical. He talks about how when you start to get that diarrhea feeling and your hairs kind of stand on end, and you're just like, yeah. Really good. And then keep watching The Last of Us. It's so good. Velma still sucks.
Oh God, I couldn't make it through the first episode.
I've watched everything that's out so far. I think
I
actually I haven't watched the most recent episode, but
I honestly turned it off.
I'm watching out of curiosity and frustration because I know how bad it is,
Yeah.
and I just want to see if it gets any better. It hasn't. It's ostensibly gotten worse
Yeah.
throughout. And also Abbott Elementary. I don't know if you guys have watched any of that on ABC.
I don't know what that is.
It's about an elementary school in Philadelphia, kind of an underprivileged neighborhood. It's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teachers are fantastic and hysterical. The kids are really, really well written as well. They're in the middle of season 2 currently. First season, I don't think was a full 23 episode season, so it's pretty easy to get caught up on. But regardless,
Nice.
check it out.
Okay.
What else you should check out? Jinx.
Patreon.com.
Yeah, patreon.com.
Together. We're supposed to say
sorry.
it.
Patreon.com/myBourbonPodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content.
And right now, everybody
get-
who's on Patreon gets first access to the weekend tickets and the live show tickets. So yes, patreon.com/myBourbonPodcast. Go there, buy some tickets, hang out with us this week at 10 Bip Weekend 2023, and also just support the show and get bonus content and hear what we want to say on here, but we just can't. It's just not appropriate enough. So if you like that stuff, you can go there. If you want to get some merch, you can head over to bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry will be putting out some exclusive shirts for the weekend that even if you're not going to be there, you could order them, right? You can get some stuff there. If you want to send an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. We'll do a review. We'll answer a question. You just shout you out. Maybe you just want your name on here.
Yeah.
You can do it. If you want to send us a voicemail on the Barrel Ring segment, 859-428-8253. We'll play you on air. We got one?
I'm completely just forgetting the fact that we have other things we need to talk about too. That we have a new Patreon member and we have a couple new reviews.
Okay, we'll get to them. I know what Patreon you're talking about. I was going to get to it toward the end.
Okay.
If you want to follow us on all social media, it's at MyBourbonPod. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can go over to Facebook and join the Facebook group. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. Answer some questions. We'll put you in there. That's where you can get some updates on everything. And as the live show approaches, we'll probably be putting a lot more updates on there. So join in there and then just leave a review on whatever app you're on. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a rating. If you're on Apple, leave a 5-star review or a 1-star. Either way, we'll read it out. It helps us in the mathematical equation of social media and content making, I believe it does.
It does.
Okay.
We got 2 new reviews this
All
week.
right, what is it?
First one's from Tony Baravides, our dear buddy. 5 stars. He says, "Get on it."
Get on it.
I mean, if you aren't listening to these dudes, then where you at?
Yeah, where are you then? I agree.
And then we got a 5-star review from I Am Chad E.
I am Chatty. I am Chade. No, who is this?
It's your best friend in the whole world.
Oh, God.
Title is A Couple of Good Fellas. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. To me, being a podcaster was better than being president of the United States. Even before I first wandered into the store for an after-school job, I knew I wanted to be a part of them. It was there that I knew that I belonged. To me, it meant being somebody in a neighborhood that was full of nobodies. They weren't like anybody else. I mean, they did whatever they wanted. Thanks, Chad, for that review. What's wrong? What's the matter?
If you want more Whiskey Mutant content, you can go to My Daily Bourbon on Instagram. I'm pretty much mentioned in every video at some point. So check that out. Whiskey Mutant on Instagram and My Daily Bourbon on Instagram. Yeah. Anyway. And then we have a new Patreon member.
We do have a new Patreon. We also have a Patreon upgrade as well.
Oh, yeah.
Upgrade to the $10 tier Mr. Bill Robarge
Bill
himself,
Robarge.
beer
You
lovers
know,
of Wisconsin.
He was telling me about that when we were at Arby's the other day.
What'd you do at Arby's?
He wanted me to be part of his content that he
Nice.
does. He reviews stuff.
Yeah.
We reviewed something that wasn't even on the menu. He got like a secret invitation to do it, and I was in there, and we were going to do a pour over. I got kicked out because I have whiskey in Arby's, so I don't know how the video turned out. But Bill reviewed the medium rare roast beef sandwich on a wheat bun. Sounds horrible. And I don't know what he said. Like I said, I got kicked out. He didn't take up for me, but he said to make it up, he was going to up his pledge on Patreon. I appreciate that, Bill. I'm sorry I didn't get to be in your video, but apparently, even though Arby's sells whiskey, you can't bring your own whiskey in and do pour overs on medium rare roast beef sandwiches. So, sorry, Bill. But thanks, Bill.
We also have a brand new Patreon
Oh, yeah?
who pledged on the annual tier,
Okay.
where you actually get a discount if you do it
Nice.
that way. But essentially at the $10 per year or $10 per month tier, we got Connor Kirkpatrick.
Connor Kirkpatrick.
Brand new member of the Tim Bibb family. Connor, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that you found a way to
Yeah, we were watching
to goad Connor into being
we were
a
watching old
Patreon.
Disney shows at Walmart on the we both were shopping at Walmart. I happened to see him looking at the pot roast they had there. They had a deal on it, and I was like, "Hey, are you getting this?" And he's like, "I'm thinking about it." He was like, "You look familiar." He's like, "Yeah, I'm Connor Kirkpatrick." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know you from you're around." He's like, "Yeah, I listened to you on the podcast." So we walked around Walmart and did all our grocery shopping together. I helped him get stuff. I marked stuff off his list. He marked stuff off my list. We shared pins. We didn't really make any sweat together, but it was actually very cool in there. We got ice cream together.
Nice.
We took a break in between because we had so much groceries to get and went to the Subway. You know, the Subway in Walmart?
Yeah, I do.
We shared a foot long.
Arguably
Yeah.
I was going to say arguably the worst iteration of an already terrible sandwich
I mean,
chain.
when you're hungry, you know?
Hey,
But we ordered off the secret menu.
what'd you get?
The medium rare Arby's roast beef. We put the Subway sauce on it. And we got the bun lightly toasted. And then we continued along, and he actually had to get a new TV. So we figured out TVs. We watched the Disney Channel preview episodes that they had on Walmart, and then we checked out together. We helped each other unload.
Sure you did.
Our stuff.
You shared a foot long. You helped each other unload.
Yeah. What? What's wrong with that? We became friends. And as he drove off, he said, "I'm going to join the Patreon." And so I believe him because he did.
He did it.
Yeah. That was a good Subway sandwich.
Look, secret menus at restaurants that are basically just regular menu items at other
No, you have to.
fast food restaurants.
It's
It's
secret.
really good.
Secret.
I think that does it for this
Saw
week.
it on Reddit.
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for buying tickets to This Is My Bourbon Weekend as well. Coming up, Memorial Day weekend of this
It's
year.
gonna be good.
End of May. Tickets are going fast already.
Yeah.
Todd
As
Cooper
of
bought
now. I mean, and this is going to be 3 days later.
his. Yeah, exactly. 5 days.
So where are you at?
What you doing?
As what's his name said, Tony.
What you doing, baby boy?
Where you at, baby boy? Baby boy, put it on me.
All right, that does it for this week. See you guys real soon. Appreciate you. Love you. Hope you have a great week.
Oh, I love you. so
Until
much.
next time, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast. You're getting very close to my
What?
upper moob.
This is my bourbon podcast.
Yeah, it is.
This is my bourbon podcaster right here. It's mine.
I like that you were kind of pulling me in closer too.
It's mine.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys.